manage it, and this job, I quit.
Yeah, I was imagining if I was in that situation, I'll bet you I would have, I don't know, I'd have hiccuped or something. I wonder if she practiced.
She must have practiced.
That was very good.
Hi, I'm Diana Ransom, Executive Editor at Inc., and I'm joined today by Carey Smith, who's the founder of Big Ass Bands and Unorthodox Ventures. We're going to be looking at the reasons why employees are quitting and how to keep them. What's the heart of the reason why employers cannot hold on to people these days?
It involves paying people enough. You have to pay them. Food helps, I noticed that. But I think the most important thing is we treated everybody very important because they were very, very important. And I think that's why we had retention rates that were in excess of 90%.
I think it might be a little more complex than that, isn't it?
I don't know.
What I think we'll be seeing here.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, let's get into it.
Attention Walmart shoppers and associates, my name is from electronics. I've been working at Walmart for almost 5 years, and I can say that everyone here is overworked and underpaid. The attendant policy is we are treated from management and customers poorly every day. Whenever we have a problem with it, we're told that we're replaceable. I'm tired of the constant gaslighting. This company treats their elderly associates like manage it, and this job, I quit.
Yes, I'm kind of, impressed by her.
Oh, I thought it was great.
So there's this common narrative we keep hearing in the Great Resignation is that employees are lazy, they don't want to work. What do you say to that?
I don't know. There's some people, I guess, that are lazy, but I had at one time over 1,000 employees. I didn't find too many of them lazy.
I get the impression just people have better options.
Resignations are at an all-time high. We need to convince employees to stay. Agreed. What if we started weekly virtual happy hours? Themed. No, we want them to stay, not chase them off with Zoom fatigue. What else? What about revamping the employee discounts website? The discounts suck. It's like 2% off tax at Arby's, a free water cup on a Spirit Airlines flight, and Chick-fil-A coupons that are only valid on Sunday. Free therapy sessions? My therapist recommended I quit this job, so I don't want anyone else getting similar ideas. What if you guys just paid them more? Pay them more? Let's circle back to this happy hour idea.
Yeah, pay them more.
You always get the impression that this is, they're referencing large corporations, and where conceivably the management has very little to say with this as relates to that.
So are there alternatives to paying people more? Like, is there job training? Is there, mentorship opportunities?
No, that's all stuff. I mean, in my mind, again, I'm just break everything down to the lowest common denominator, and it is that you pay them more. I mean, I used to tell people when I was hiring them, I want you to think about this because I'm buying part of your life. That's what I'm doing. And you have to think about that. And I'm going to give you money for it, and I may give you more than somebody else, but that's still what I'm doing. You think about it.
That just blew my mind.
And at the end of the day, we sold a company, and so I wrote checks for $50 million to these people, and it made some people multimillionaires.
That's amazing.
That's the sort of thing that a business, small business, gives you the opportunity to do. And that's why, I don't know, I think that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for you. So I would totally work at Big Ass Bands. This next one is from Twitter, from Variety, regarding Kim Kardashian. I have the best advice for women in business, Kim Kardashian says. Get your effing ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days. And this is in response. I was an editor on the Kardashian apps in 2015 in LA. Worked days, nights, and weekends. Could only afford groceries from the 99-cent only store. Called out sick more than once because I couldn't put gas in my car to get to the office, and was reprimanded for freelancing on the side. We don't actually know the truth behind her actual situation, so just take that with a grain of salt. But if we're to believe her, then I would think that Kim Kardashian runs a sweatshop. And that's not fair.
I think that that what's more interesting is what Kardashian says, which is you need to get off your ass and get to work. Just in general, as an indication of how you run a business, that's just all wrong. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's incumbent upon you to make sure that these things are taken care of. It's not fair for you to depend on the employee or the person that's working with you to bash you for this stuff. I mean, it's embarrassing, but it's also your fault. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for that.
This next one's from Reddit. I don't understand why my employees are still complaining, Doc. The fathers worked for my father more than 40 hours a week, and some of their grandpas worked for my grandpa for free. And now they want more rights? My parents' generations used to spend, 20, 30 years at the same company. It's like you just were loyal to that organization. And, they treated you well, gave you raises every now and then. You were able to support a family of 4 or 5 on those wages. You were able to buy a middle-class life on those wages. And now this fellow is commenting, I don't get the same loyalty from the young kids. Why is that?
Well, I think that probably the reason is because there's many, many more opportunities. And you shouldn't be surprised if people quit if you're not treating them well or you're not paying them enough. If we're talking about small business, all that indicates is you don't do a very good job of running your business. If you can't run a business and pay people and treat them properly, then you don't know what the hell you're doing, in my book.
Does pizza and, gift cards, do those substitute for a raise?
No. Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you think? I mean, I think a lot of this is if you empathize with other people, you know the answers to.
I mean, there's quality of life, right? There's, what are the things that matter most to your employees? Like some would say flexibility, flexible hours. Some would say the ability to work remotely so I can pick my kids up from school.
When you're doing something that requires collaboration, because the creative side of this is, with what we did and what we do today, we talk to each other all the time. If we didn't have everybody together in the main, it wouldn't work for us at all.
What's a good way for employers to actually, go about finding people to work for them? I know we talked about how to retain them, but how do you bring people in the door?
I think you have to think about it in the same terms that you think about selling your product. You have to sell your company. You have to sell your company to the community in which you're established. Again, from my point of view, a lot of that has to do with writing stories, engaging the local media, showing them your facilities.
So talking about your employer brand.
Yeah,
right?
Well, because I want you to come work for me. I want you to know about me. I want you to apply. I want you to see this as an opportunity. I want to tell you, here's what we do that makes it special. Here's what we do with bonuses. Here's what we do with activities. Here's what we do at work. I always tell people, this is where you're starting. We had people as receptionists. Everybody that came in to work for us as a receptionist wound up in a much, much higher position. And there were managers that came out of reception because they were interested, they were interesting. It's just, you've got such an opportunity, and that's what you ought to be telling people in the community.
Right. There's room to grow.
That's what you have to do. You have to talk about yourself. Everybody has to know. You have to advertise. You can't set, like Kim said, you can't set on your ass.
Yeah, take it from Kim Kardashian.
That's right.